So Chungawangas, I was just logicating this. You know, the set apart teaching stands on this, that the Almighty made the heavens and the earth. Fact that no schmuck today that forgets in 4 generations can actually verify, has to, swallow what they're being told, right? You can't exactly, chew a chocolate and jump back in time and figure out what happened. Like the beginning of the world. You just have to trod through a mountain of data that half of it you don't still have the science for to figure it out, right? And second, wouldn't it happen that if this mighty one, Yahuwah, lives up there in heavens, he can simply come to these monkeys, humans, and tell them his version of truth simply by reinterpreting what he already knows from all that up there in Shemaim. Like, if I'm somewhere from up there, right, and I want to tell some primitives, hey, I made everything, and I'm going to strike you down with all special effects, right, do some strange science and control the plagues and the animals and the everything. I mean, I don't care, the universe is 13 billion years old, and I'm probably a species that appeared 10 billion years old again. 10 billion years old ago. I have so much science and knowledge and whatever that you monkeys are not even going to figure out what went on. We're just, cavemen. All I have to say is that I did all this. Right? It's easy. You prove it. With sticks and stones, science. Rubbing 2 sticks to get some fire. You prove it with that. That's going to be easy for you. And then, all this. Like you see, there's a pagan teaching from some movie somewhere that at one point, really all beings don't really need a body of flesh anymore. They know how to survive in their own identity, in their own, let's say a wrong word, but it kind of shows the concept, in their own energy being, right? And then can, do their stuff around the universe. As, souls basically, or what do you mean, spirits, or whatever you want to call them. Basically, beings of existence, made of existence, right? And mind and whatever else a soul has, right? Now there's another really ugly satanic teaching, which is so ridiculous. Scientology. And listen to this upside downing. Church of Scientology. At the bottom end it preaches there's a space general that want to get rid of some idiots, put them on the earth, stuff them in volcanoes and threw nuclear bombs on them, and their souls infected everyone. Their thetans or something. It's all kinds of madness. However, what if all information, right or wrong, is just that, information? We can see here in this mixed up world that, well, basically, all information has some purpose, right? If someone tells you vitamin C will help with the immune system and you can fight a cold, you try it, man, it works. And if someone tells you that you have to, put a wet towel in your head to fight a cold, you try it and nothing happens. Nothing good, basically. It doesn't heal anything. So you see, All information has a purpose. So, let's get back on track. So this, like, what do bone diggers say? The human species is supposed to be, when they were monkeys, like some million years old. Million years old. And if the universe is 13 billion years old, why is it not possible that some 10 billion years ago, some species were there, form of newly emerged civilization, and they had a lot of time to develop. Now maybe they were smart about it and destroyed themselves. And at one point they said, we almost have everything it takes now. We have our own type of science. We can influence nature and planets and whatever. We're 10 billion years old. The other primitives, they can't even imagine what kind of skills we now have. Well, let's go around the universe and play with the kiddies. Right? Alright. And once upon a lonely galaxy, in some lost corner, they find a little planet. They look around here, some girls with hair on their tits and some unshaven dudes with skins on them. Those are dumb as monkeys. Right? That's everything game. And those no longer needing physicality beings, they come around here and start, well, basically fucking up information. The end point is that at one point, all it ends up to is that some of them, or representative of them or something, basically politically rules this planet and this species, right? The situation is simple. Murder every rebellious like monkey in all kinds of ways you can fuck up their world, in their minds. And whoever's left saying, I obey, I obey, I obey, well, that's them. They have to, shovel shit, dig in the dirt, administrative stuff. And at the end of it all, the point is that these old-time species, they don't really give a cuckoo, they just need yet another planet to, do what they want there, But the point is this: if we as monkeys in, just starting from Renaissance until, the 2000s or something, we bunched up all this science, a lot or a little as it is, what kind of knowledge did the species that might have begun a civilization 10 billion years ago in some corner of the universe would have? What kind of science do they have? Right? And how hard would it be for such a species to come here and sell all this chunga wanga manga banga, the ideologies to mesmerize our brains? How hard would it be for let's say, soul, because that's the word everybody kind of understands, soul-like creature, to just come out here on Earth and say, this is what you have to know, monkeys. There's the truth. Because simply in 10 million years, they just, found out so much science, so much knowledge, so much truth, so much information. It's not a big problem for them to just describe. They're the ones that actually do all the fingering in the universe. They just found out everything that was around and said to the monkeys, the primitive monkeys, hey, we did that. All the monkeys going to verify. Throwing a stone and the stone falls 10 meters further. Wow, that's going to test it. So, now just think of this. You see, the Bible is made in powerful lessons. Whatever. And one of the lessons is this. Lift the rock and you'll find me there. Right, it's a lot of philosophy. You have to twist your brain in a knot. I know, you basically have to swallow entire scripture, counter-understand the entire demonism of this world. But let's think as a kid, as a child, right? It's known that children don't know much about actually lying when they want to express something. They have their own way of bullshitting stuff and they want to obtain something, but when they want to express something, the children don't really have this knowledge of deception. So, there's this ground, like, I'm supposed to use his own scriptural method to find the Almighty, right? Or a knowledge of Him, a notion. So, there's the ground, there's a rock, probably a river rock that's been polished by a river, and I lift it. And there's the little pit that the rock being heavy and the ground, the soil being soft has made. And down, there's the dimple, there's the rock, and in between them there's, air. Somewhere later where you swallow all the, he tells you, I am Ruah, I am breath of life. Wow. Okay, so that's what I find. Don't you say you're infinite? Don't we know that there is no oxygen in outer space, or not any usable form of oxygen? You just go up there and what do you happen in space? You suffocate. And when you connect all the dots of this bullshittery of Empire Earth, what do you discover? You discover this, that all information has a purpose. The good information and the bad information, all of it has a purpose. Right? When you tell something to someone, you need them to, have a consequence in their brains and actions, a result of what you told them. Right? That's the point. Why does a species that lives out there, maybe that species is the Almighty or something, but basically us here with hair on our faces, we know nothing else than what we could find out on this planet and what we've been told, right? By whatever sources. You cannot just, push a fart and pop up there above the universe and just look at everything and see everything at once and understand what's going on. You can't do that. Not with the abilities of this, body, or whatever. So, it's all strategy. It's all basically manipulation. Because, to be simple and logical, somewhere, someone from Shemaim, what's the prayer? As in heaven, so on earth, right? Someone from out there came here to tell us what's what. And what does the same someone says the end point? My loyal ones that obey me are saved. The rest of the one I fucking fuck it to hell. Eternity of pain. Right. Well, that's the point. Some idiot supposed to be scientist says they dug up bones that are millions of years old. They're supposed to be the first humans. I don't know why it's impossible that if the universe is supposed to be 13 billion years old, that 10 billion years ago some species emerged somewhere and they learned everything they had to learn. And what do they want? Well, it's right in your face. Obey their representatives or, you get tortured. When you kind of shake out of all the bullshit, on all the confusing, too much detail, too much fucking information from all this, and you just leaves the basics. The basics are this. He says, I made everything. Alright, dude, I can't verify that. And then what's what? Well, at the end of it all, you do what I say, well, fuck him. And what says? My remnant is gonna be on the planet and rule everything. And the rest of whatever's left of the people. Right? And that's it. And at the end of it all, I'm gonna, upside down this entire planet and change it in a new one. Right? New heavens and new earth. Whatever that's supposed to mean to the brain of a monkey. That's the point. When you shake off all the hyper complexity of whatever he said by scripture and hyper bullshit complexity of whatever he said on this planet that's been manipulated by whatever the fuck, we end up with this. Some dude from Shemaim that says he did everything. He's gonna fucking smash you if you're not one of those that obeys. And some idiots that's supposed to know science said, well, we dug up some bones, we carbon dated them, and they're millions of years old, There's always been monkeys here. Kind of changed into something like this. You figure it out. Stupid for no reason. That's the point. I know how I kind of know this. I connected the dots. Why does Hollywood, full of Luciferians that just want to fuck everybody's brains, keeps incessantly making bullshit soups of this topic, this thematic, that somewhere out there comes something so big we don't understand and it's gonna give us a hard time. What as he himself says in his scripture, well, my son comes, bunch of you that are stupid to face me, I'm gonna smash them, and the rest, well, some of them are gonna obey me, and I'm gonna reward them somehow, and the rest are gonna be ruled without a choice. I'm from up there, you're from here. Connect the dots, dude. Connect the dots. That's the problem. However, how can somehow, in some situations, these dark dudes can sort of touch or influence you from a distance, and the big dude can also influence you in your life somehow, right? Yeah, that's the problem. You see, probably, I don't know, I'm just guessing here, I'm trying to figure things out. When you're a 10 billion years old civilization of no longer needing physicality beings, you probably know so much that controlling the weather and affecting other creatures, energy beings and information and brains and whatever through some natural mechanisms, scientific control methods, their physicality is a trifle to you. I mean, what? The planet Earth is supposed to be 4 billion years old. It means it even coalesced from the dust spinning around the sun, around the star. 7 billion years after that species was already a civilization. Why do they give a shit about these little monkeys? Right? That's the problem. Problem is simple. You see, scientists say this. Planets with the proper conditions for life are not rare actually. There's a lot of them. The universe is full of them. They're extremely far apart. You can't just, grab a boat and row until the 10 meters to the next planet full of life. And in space that always moves, conditions change, Look at Mars. It's stipulated or guessed that somewhere in the past it was actually a planet with life. And look at it now. It's It's a rock. It's dead. See? So planets with life stay with life for a while. Whatever that means. Whatever that while is, like million years, 10 billion years, I don't know. So to actually find far away planet with life and play with it, you gotta find one, you gotta dominate it somehow, and that also, if you know any science in 10 billion years, will not last forever. Some conditions will change, some planet, some situation in the universe is going to modify from all the universe moving, and the planet is going to lose life. Right? Maybe it reemerges some billion years later, who knows, but maybe it doesn't. The problem is you have a window of opportunity to actually do something on that planet with life on it. And what is life for someone that wants to be where life is? One thing, like the simplest of truths: food. I mean, all of you here on the planet, what do you eat? Huh? Asteroid dust? No. You eat tomatoes, you eat some animal, like, let's say, sheep. You figure it out. You eat plants and you eat animals. Right? That's life. Food. Food for life. Well, told you so. That's the problem. If you don't want to understand in your stupidity, he mocked us by putting a second rule under his domination, the biggest law: love each other like you love yourselves. If you don't love yourselves, you're screwed, because you don't actually have the capacity to love loving others. You don't know how love looks. And if you don't love each other, brothers and sisters of this human species of male and female, well, you're fucked. Because when whoever comes to, do whatever on this planet, you're not gonna stand together. You're scattered, divided, and already conquered. That's simple. Set apart. Divide et impera. Who gives a shit anymore? Now let me introduce a little truth about me. I don't know how fucked my heart is from all the effort and the bullshittery. I cannot go to the hospital because first thing they do with their laws and rules and protocols and what the fuck not is to do all kinds of god-awful things to you, half of which they don't even ask permission. They bullshit you with some, norms and regulations. And by my life experience, half of the problem isn't even solved, and basically medicine today is ineffective. And after all this, the whole fuckery just starts again, because basically you're systemically kind of fucked from a lot of points of view, right? So my heart, I don't know what the fuck is gonna give up. My liver, I don't know what it's doing and why it's still living anymore. I don't know. My health is 3 ways to hell. Basically, I'm expecting that at one point, when I don't know what scientific knowledge or truth or whatever mighty ruler is gonna decide, my body just gives up, and what happens next? You pretty, beautiful girls, you rot. That's simple. Have you seen all the cemeteries? If you dig up a grave and you open the casket, what do you find in there? Rotten flesh. Maybe even just some blackened bones from all the microorganisms that want to eat something. That's all your prettiness. So, that's the point. I don't give a shit about anything. Here, I just have some reason left. Here, I fuck up your reason. And my body just, I don't know, even the body waits the moment when he's gonna say, I can't do it anymore, dude. I'm sorry. I hung on as long as I could, but that's it. I'm not made of titanium, you know. If I weren't made of titanium, I'd be a fucking statue. I wouldn't be alive. Or at least I'd last. I'm flesh. Flesh has an expiration date. What do the genetics say? You can't really live past 150 years. What does the scripture say? Well, it's about 120 that you're given if you live in sin. At most. So everything spins around this same concept. Flesh, unless has some special conditions, is gonna fucking croak at one point. Right? There goes your godness and immortality, cuckoos. So, now I'm some fun guy with because Science Channel says that if you are immortal, do you know what happens? After 10,000 years or something like that, you've gone ahead and did just about everything you can possibly do on a planet, and everything you do from that point is a repetition, and you get more and more bored. And let's just throw a number out there. 50,000 years later, for that immortality that's supposed to last forever, you just look around and says, can someone please kill me? I'm bored beyond belief. I got nothing to do. I did everything on this planet. I ruled the universe. Everything was under my power, and it's all the same shit all over again. He just comes back, he turns around and around. I'm so bored with all this movie I've seen 1 trillion times that I just want to fucking end. See, immortality is not fun. So that's the point. And there's an ocean, dodos. You see, when you go to some awesome movie at cinema, if the movie would continue forever, like if you'd see a movie for 10 years, endlessly, you don't only go bored out of your wits, you'd go practically insane. All that information piling up on you. You know that the Young and the Restless series, by the end of the episodes, everybody was like, yeah, let's see what these guys did. I don't have to cook some food, I don't give a shit anymore. That's the point. You see, a movie, a beautiful movie, has a limit. Any legend has to begin and end. So it becomes a legend. You know, just boredom. It only drags on without reason. That's human life. It's basically a story that has to begin and to end so someone can actually read the book of the story. You can't just give someone a 10 million pages book. They can't carry that. Paper is heavy, you know. But that's the point. Look at the animal. If you do like this, and give her what little emotions animals have, watch. Hey dude, what's up? See? That's the simple truth. We're the big monkeys here. There's a lot of life around us. And we're supposed to take care, first and foremost, of our species, because we have to take care of this planet. There's no one else here that comes from this planet. And then these creatures, plants, animals, with their simple ways of being. Told you so, idiots. Now, if you take away the first and foremost greatest law of love the Almighty with all that you have, right? Heck yeah. What you're left with? Love each other, brothers and sisters of the human species, or you're fucked. Cats.